speaker is Alex Pedori. He is an AI engineer by day and a freelancer coach. He was displaced by AI once already and decided to get good at starting over. He now lives in Italy in a restored windmill that I'm very envious about already. And he came all the way to Berlin to talk with us about, or to try something with us. He's gonna let us lead us through inventing 3 versions of our possible future and to do a little experiment with us. And I'm very excited what this will entail. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Okay, hi. I planned great, so I discovered 30 minutes ago, I realized that this was 30 minutes, not 45, like I had read. 45 minutes, and that was come 15 minutes before to talk.
Aww.
So we will ignore some things in the slides that were about, okay, now go inside and explore things. Still, there are some moments where like, well, maybe explore what you would want to do. So you probably have phones to write. Or there is a notebook if you want to pass it around. And if you, like me, have pens and paper. Does anyone need paper? No. Good. Okay, hi. So, I'm Alex. The thing about the stress earlier is really useful. I've changed more or less the presentation on the fly. Good. Okay, so have you heard of it? I'm a AI engineer. I changed career a few times, and I also cannot really make up my mind always about, okay, I want to, computers are stressful, let's work with humans. AI changes all the time. Let's work with humans. They don't change that quickly. They change too much and they don't compile. Let's go back to computers. And or let's work with the land. And the land that it keeps on growing when you don't want. So I couldn't make my mind about what to do as a grown-up, so I do both experiments and try to do it all well enough by now. So the idea is to try to get this that I've done because I either had no choice, either from the inside or from the outside, into some sort of a method that I can offer others. So this is more or less the idea. Let's see, freelancers, solopreneur, entrepreneurs, whatever. Has anyone here gotten somehow the memo? Possibly from the outside, possibly from the inside. We'll touch what that hell it means in a moment. Of like, get a real job, or settle down. What are you doing? Like, do something that will be safe, or hear real money, or know what's gonna happen. Like, anyone have it from outside? Possible mothers or people? Okay, good. Never heard that before. On the other hand, freelancer, solopreneur, entrepreneurs, go make it big. Be the new Steve Jobs. Make Elon Musk cry because you are richer and more successful. Whatever. Has anyone heard that, like, you should make it big something, ship, do the big thing? Somehow, like I'm wasting my time because I'm not the everything. Okay. And we're in Berlin. I used to live in Berlin. I'm not just, now I'm passing by. I live in the middle of a forest because I used to live in Berlin, but spent 20 years here. And so, like, should go and be free, be crazy, adventure, backpack. Berghain opens on Friday, closes on Monday morning. Should be there more often. As anyone, this kind of, I should have more adventure, of early retirement, do stuff. I don't say everyone. These are my lives. And then probably others, like whatever it is there. So, and these messages we hear from the outside. From the influencers, and somehow they get inside too. We hear them from the inside. Call it sometime either the inner critic, or the inner Steve Jobs, or the inner let's drop everything, or the inner or outer midlife crisis. So this, like, let's everything. My parents told me that they didn't know if I'm mid-20s, I was having an early midlife crisis or a late teenager one. Not unclear, and it has been like that. So this idea that we have several voices, and one of my other lives, said AI engineer by day, life coach and facilitator also by day, because I'm not anymore a light person. is IFS, Internal Family System. Maybe you heard it in Germany. It's kind of mixed up with other things. But the idea that, as a friend puts it, is talking with the imaginary friend for healing and life development. So we have different voices. These voices we said, like there is the one that says, and now I'm gonna eat healthy and wake up at 7 a.m. and work out and everything. And the other one's like, I want that Oreo. Like, and I mean, it's still inside of us. And some of them get on the driving seat, sometimes not. But the whole thing is that somehow we have different voices. And when they all try to go at once, it's like pushing and pulling. And maybe they don't all decide what to do, but most of them get a veto, get a blocker. So we are like stuck. Like, I want to do the next big thing, but I also want to be safe, and I want to adventure, and at the same time have a great summer body, and eat well, but it must be yummy. And has anyone else been stuck like that? Like, yeah, less now, for luckily, but I spent many years. So, okay, so this is the idea, and I will try to dance on this process. It's possible to do it on your own. Don't tell the creator of IFS that really want people to have therapists. In my case, I mean, I'm restless. I've been restless by nature, but also I was living in Berlin in the mid-2000s. And for a while, I was a technical translator. I mean, I have a degree in engineering. I like languages. Like, that's like something burnout before it was cool. Didn't want to be a programmer. Like, okay, technical, that was great. And then we started having this thing of people using computers and like automatic translations and then neural translation. And I mean, I consider myself one of the people that lost their career to AI before it was cool. Like, 2010 was like, for years, I haven't met anyone else that was doing that. Like cool. Translation, I mean, it still existed, just I didn't like it. I had this thing called a degree in engineering. So, okay, so let's stay in job. You cannot win against the machine. Let's stay inside. So I went and became natural language processing. That people thought it was NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It was confusing for a while. Now it's great. Like, I do AI. Wow, you do AI? Yes. Before it was cool. So that was something like, sometimes we have to reinvent ourselves because what we want to do is disappearing. Sometimes because we want to reinvent ourselves. Sometimes for whatever other reason. No, sometimes we're in Berlin. I moved to Berlin because I was restless. Sometimes we need the permission not to reinvent ourselves. Like, it's okay if next year I do the same thing of this year. Maybe my priority is growing my garden. Maybe this time it's not reinventing my business from the scratch. Maybe this works for a while or for a couple of years. So this had a system. The idea was that I would give you blocks of 3 minutes to check in IFS, Internal Family System, with a going inside. And this is a system somehow, it's, how to say, it's not stealing if you get inspired. So a little bit is exploring different life and different motivation and different vetoes and give them permission to exist. It's okay if you want blah, and let's see what happens. And the other, a big thing that I recommend to everyone is called a system called Design Your Life. I totally stole my version called Align Your Life because small changes and whatever. But so we create experiments. Like, a few things of them in my life was, I cannot stay with what it is. I will jump before I look. And some other time, like, okay, where I am, it's okay enough. I'm a developer, so like, let's make a test. Did it work? Okay, no. Or design thinking, like, let's make a cardboard version. Would you use this product? No. Okay, then let's not build it. Or now with AI, Cloud Code, let's build a crappy version. So let's do it with our life. Like, what if we can imagine a life? Now, I will try to give you a prompt. Maybe you will get ideas. If you get ideas, write them down. If not, I have somewhere this system. So the idea is that we give 3 lives, or 4. I mean, at this point is we have more time because we have less time. I would propose the 4 lives. And for each of them, imagine 5 years. I like 5 years because what's the meaning of your life? And I don't know. Or what is your calling? What do you mean, my calling? Or what your passion? Like, I don't know. I like cooking. I tried to be a cook here in Berlin. Was terrible. I don't do cocaine. I don't like being at night. Too much stressful. Like, I have other metaphor of if you love cooking and try to be a cook. No. Not for me. Maybe it works for other people. So somehow, in 5 years, how it could look like. 5 years is this kind of nice block. Like for my life, if I check, block of 5 years, like 5 years ago, I was just re-putting the pieces together post-COVID. So there is a block of like, and now it's settling. I can start seeing that something will change. And blocks of 5 years, like even for school, and to go. So somehow, in 5 years, how could this life be? And then checking. When we imagine, and I will go through this life in a moment, or you can choose your own, like, oh, if I went for that big thing, or the small thing, or whatever, or I didn't go for that big thing. Some part of us, this idea, something goes like, and some other part goes like, oh my God, no, at least. And multiple, but somehow. So the part that goes like, okay, in 5 years, I do the same job, better rates, I pay the mortgage, or if I have the mortgage, or whatever, same partner, we're great, we're happy, or one partner, or whatever, 3, 5 partners. We're in Berlin polyamory, but stable, whatever. Like it's a closed polyculus, fluid bonded. Everything is controlled, and the rules are understood, and there is no one freaking out. Whatever is stable for you. I lived here because it worked for me. I went away because I got older. Whatever part that goes like, oh, okay, it's a permission. 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We imagine it, and then we try to pick and choose, and then we try to make experiments. One of the ideas is, even when we dream a life, like when we talk with the people that live the life, they have a much more concrete. So even just talking with someone, or before remote working was famous or popular, like what about them in the use of Tim Ferriss? Take a longer holiday. Take all of your holiday at once, or try to tell your boss that you got stuck in Bangkok and see if you can still working from there and if they miss you. So all of these ways in which try to make an experiment, like before leaving your job, take all of your holidays and do your side project. Is it working? So some way, whatever experiment could be the right experiment. And then taking inspirations. I didn't check how long was my session, but I did the coding for supporting the 4-week experiment. So that we have. Okay, so the idea, one life. You give yourself the permission to play it safe, whatever that means. In 5 years, we have more or less the same career now, just better paid. If you're a freelancer, everything somehow works, or even you got hired, you're an employee, and someone tells you what to do, and you don't have to just, or your funnel works, or you don't have to look for clients and new project every few months. Maybe still, like in my case, AI, so it's keep on changing, but you have to read new papers every 3 months. Like, wow, that's relaxing, like, great. So if you think this is safe, how would it be? What part go like, finally, really, can I do that? What happens inside if you instead go like, oh, that's gonna be boring, and then what? And who am I if I don't have a problem to solve? This is a Zen koan, by the way. So see, if you want, just give it like a moment. Just how would be my life if it was like this, but more settled, removing some of the stress, but some of the I need to reinvent myself. Okay? Then, this is a bit my favorite because I've done it by mistake. What if money and ridicule weren't an issue? Like, you always dream to be a clown at Disneyland, like, whatever. If you worked at Yahoo and you could have gone to Google but didn't, and then you burned out, and then you decided to move to Berlin to be a fire performer, masseur, yoga teacher, that if you are slightly dyslexic and don't go very well left and right is not recommended, and a few other things. And with your parents saying like, wait, you got a master's degree in computer engineering for what? So you get the permission to just do whatever. You can survive on little money, or someone gave you money, or and you don't care what other people think. What happens? For me, Berlin was the right city for that. Is there a part like, no, I cannot do that, or that would be too much, or like freedom is too heavy, or finally, how do I make it happen? Do you have any idea, any inspiration for that? See a moment. Stay with that. You see, there would be the 3-minute ride that you don't get, but you can do it later. I think, yes. Without the 3 minutes, I'm like, and then, what if you had to reinvent yourself? And in my case, like, I was quite happy to be a hippie, doing my normal things, not earning a lot, doing my fire performing yoga, whatever things, and having some projects for translating that didn't work. I had to reinvent myself. Somehow it happened that I managed to discover that I also really enjoyed. I mean, at that same time, AI was becoming enough of a thing. I ended up working at Siri for Apple for a little bit, and it was like, oh wow, this thing. I had one course, and at university, like, oh, this is becoming a product. So let's try to get there without a background. So it's 15 years that I find ways to be in the AI bubble, or at the time wasn't a bubble. So somehow, if you have to start from fresh, you have you still keep your skills, but no one pays for what your shape of the career now. No one wants a coder because Claude Code is better than me. But what other thing you have that work? No one wants. No one needs a speaking coach. But some of the skills you have and some new things. So what would it be? Like, I have to reinvent, but it works. It's 5 years from now, it worked. You look back and like, okay, that's what happened. Or somehow for dreaming. Somehow I like that because for some people, the go and be crazy doesn't always work. Okay, so this was the framework. Tendentially, with clients, with other people, I offer one free bonus, like whatever. Like, you want to do another one of this. You play it safe but big. Like you make it big. I mean, not having to reinvent yourself. Or another one, like, oh, yeah, that direction. Like, each of these should take between 3 and 3 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, you imagine your life in 5 years. If you want to get harder, you get what's there, what the resources you have. Now, this is, if you squint, you see that this is also Mosaic. Thank you, I think, ChatGPT for this. But that's more or less, so whatever you imagine is going to be different. And somehow going with the experiment and even with the idea, I think Jeff Bezos with what are the doors that are easy to go back to? And what are, like, going to your boss and saying, like, I never liked you, I'm here forever. Like, okay, then you would. So maybe like, hey, I take a 1 month break, or I need something. Can you just like, can I go on find something? So somehow life goes its own way, and if you look back, like, oh wow, that worked. Clearly, I did that for that other reason. One other bit that I like, still people, client, whatever, is, I mean, for me, like, design experiment is great. Like, okay, wear this, let's try that work or not. Oh, it would be great if and then you try and it's not. And sometimes you did experiment without realizing. And the best thing to get away from the usual insanity is repeating the same thing, expecting different results, is like, okay, what if that was an experiment? What if I really thought it was a great idea to get addicted to heroin? Now I'm that character. How does our hero get out of that? So somehow you are really like, life went in pieces. This is terrible. Like, okay, what if I thought, like, it's a video game? Like, I wanted to see what happens. So it was an experiment. Let's get out of it and let's not do it again. So as pointed, if you go through different possible lives, you can add different longing, different vetoes. By the way, for the people taking photo, I have all of this in the website that I share in a moment, but you can also take the photo. They're absolutely the same. So each life gets different inner parts that have different, like, I don't want to disappoint them, whoever are them. I will be seen as myself, I will not be seen as myself, or the usual, I mean, we have a little bit of the American coach, like, I'm afraid of my real power when I show myself, or whatever it is that, so it's interesting to go and check, okay, I'm afraid of that. What if I could just try? In all of the IFS, or this idea, we have each of our part mean well, mostly, and but they have different strategies. So somehow, like, oh, I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, and can I be happy and healthy? Or I mean, like, I'm the kind of person that need a cheat day if I'm dieting, or I need moments where I just go crazy because, and that's has to be part of the system. So somehow, exploring, good, and then design an experiment around that. So somehow, this is a possibility. There is a tool to support it, but so smaller thing I can try, or smaller things, more than one, and there are parts of me that are scared, like, oh, I would be bored, or I would have to say, I will code for food, please give me some pennies, or blah. And then what can I notice? Like, I will not, I mean, I make an experiment and the result has to be 2 or 42. Like, okay, that's not an experiment. Like either, like, I will see if this falls. They will be very unhappy. Okay, so that's not an experiment, but okay, I will notice if I'm happy or I'm not happy, if the fears are real, if I can do it, if after 1 month something becomes boring, if I don't have the stamina to do whatever I do, or it's can be whatever. I mean, there are guidelines to guide the experiment. But so this idea. And there is a tool to support it, and more or less that's it. Like, you know, there is a way of like, okay, there are values or desires. Like, what if maybe you cannot have it all at the same time, or not all well, but you know, there are different voices, they have a reason, and some are blocking, some are pushing. That was it, the fast forward version. Any question, any idea, any... well, there. Good.
Oh, let's clap first.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, the punchline. And I'm not really sure this was working very well. Or I was... Is it direction? Okay. So,
that's better.
Okay,
but
great.
We still were able to hear you.
Okay,
well.
you were in the front. I mean, I think they were like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay,
so
good.
So for me, they were like my image, like the punchline is like you're, yeah, the Q&A. But okay. Then I go back to my website.
In case you want to post questions, you can scan the QR code, or you can just lift your hand.
We have all of 5 minutes, so yeah, hand. Hi. I mean, okay, I know enough people that just dropped their children or went away with their children. That is not great. They're part of your life, yes. I mean, if you are one to, I mean, for sure you have them. You can even have parts. I met parents that regret having had children, parents that they're the best thing in their life, and yet they take more time. So, so the question was about how you would factor children. Well, it's your lives. So, I mean, I would not imagine the impossible. So, what if I didn't have children? Well, that's a parallel universe. What if I had children? Like, trying. But so yeah, that's part of the. What if my knees were better? Like, I'd like it, but so yeah. You put it in that, and what can I do? How can I go wild with the children? I mean, I met plenty of weird. When I was a backpacker, plenty of weird hippies going very weird travel adventures with children. So that's somehow possible. But as a non-parent, I cannot tell.
Anyone?
Okay, good question. Is there any process for design experiment, like having just one thing? If it's an experiment, yes, but unless you are in this moment completely unemployed, and the experiment is I do that on the side. So can I reinvent? If I had, how many hours can you put? I mean, possibly 1 month. Like, okay, in 1 week I build the offering, and then I try to offer it. And if it's an experiment, I mean, I'm one of the reasons I work as an engineer and tell more about business. So I mean, my life worked out somehow, as in trying different things. But so somehow what is the definition of success? Like in 1 month, do I have some clients, some paying clients, the MAM test? Do I have some people that at least will give 5, 20, 50, 100, 150,000? I don't know what is the offering. But somehow, how can I test a bit that there is a little bit of friction, getting out of the head? The same reason, at least writing at least something that is, and trying. Maybe, I mean, I recently tried the solopreneur thing. I mean, for the coaching works. For a programmer, working with small and medium enterprises as a direct programmer has been something I learned a lot. I can solve their problem. I don't want to be the one talking with them while I do them. So I learned, like, the experiment worked. It sold. It was great. Everything worked. Like, it's just like, I don't want the headache. So yes, that was an experiment. It's and the cool thing, at least in science, or taken from based on that, experiments never fail. The idea is that the experiment is a question. Is it true or not? Does it go up or down? Maybe I want it to go up, but if it goes down, if it's a real experiment, now, I mean, don't put more than a few % of your net worth for your next month. Like, put some hours, possibly make it like you learn things. Like, oh, I learned that, or that was fun, or whatever. Like, does it make sense?
Thank you so much.
Good. So here you find something about this, the slides, and my website and whatever else. Good.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfectly on time.